and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have a seat. Well, as you can see, the commissioner is not here today, and the vice chairman is not here today, so the X is going to be the needful.
And we are grateful.
Yeah. How about a roll call, please?
Renee Ford.
Here.
John Carriosha.
Here.
Fran Myers.
Here.
Holly Smith.
Here.
Pam Cronin.
Here.
Tony Loppe.
Here.
Pauline Di Pasquale.
Here.
Will Wachulis.
Here.
Rob Wells, Brian Kramer, and Commissioner Pendergrass are excused. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for the approval of the April minutes?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
That's concluded. Public to be heard. Who do we have from the public who would like to grab the microphone?
Good morning. My name is Dory Hipschman. I'm the Executive Director of the Bailey Matthews National Shell Museum on Sanibel. And now that season is winding down, I can actually get to downtown Fort Myers. So I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you. During the last 4 years, the National Shell Museum has grown from an annual budget of around $900,000 to almost $1.5 million. We earn about 65 to 75% of that budget, and that comes from visitors from around the world. Only a tiny fraction of the attendees to our museum are from Lee County. Almost too few for us to count, with the exception of the school kids that we bring. But our budget of $1.5 million is spent almost entirely in Lee County. The museum employs 20 people, a number of them with advanced degrees. 10 of them are full-time professionals who receive excellent benefits, including retirement plans and 100% of their health care costs. These are great tourism jobs. And it's only possible because of your support, the ongoing assistance from the TDC and from your marketing. And this year, for the first time, and at the recommendation of the VCB staff, the museum is doing social media advertising, and I have to tell you, the results are amazing. They're just amazing. So my gratitude is not only for your financial support, for your marketing, for all you do for Lee County, but also for your own excellent staff who are helpful, responsive, knowledgeable, and a pleasure to work with. So on behalf of my staff and my Board of Trustees, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Dory.
Great facility. Any other public to be heard? Seeing none, we'll close that. And municipalities, any municipalities that would like to speak? Morning, Judy.
Here, I have a copy already.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the commission. My name is Judy Zimmerman. I'm the city manager of Sanibel, and I rise today for several items. One, to thank you for a wonderful season. Two, to thank you for legislation that's later on your agenda, providing funding for next year's season on Sanibel. And I thought this would be an appropriate time to share an email we received recently. We received quite a few emails on Sanibel regarding our facilities, some constructive, most of them positive. This board has been very supportive of our efforts to increase accessibility. I'm sorry Mr. Wells isn't here. I'll forward this to him electronically. He's been personally also very supportive on comments and projects we've brought in that have to do with handicap accessibility at our facilities. But let me read this one particular email we received just this past month. The sender was Rachel Abande. The subject was accessibility. Here's her message to us. And this came in to the city manager of Sanibel. Hello, I've been visiting Sanibel since 1972. I've been lucky to visit at least once per year since Sanibel is like home to me. Now I'm happy to be able to share Sanibel with my 4 children. My 19-year-old son, Andrew, is also lucky enough to become a regular visitor to Sanibel. My son is in a wheelchair and has multiple handicaps. He is very limited in what he can do. He cannot walk and requires a wheelchair to move. And that's why I'm writing to you. We usually stay by the lighthouse, and we are beyond delighted at how accessible that beach access is. We love the parking close to the beach. We love the parking, the ramps, and the mat walkway to get onto the beach. Also, we recently found out how great the amenities, bathroom, showers were at this location. Just to remind you, those are all TDC-funded amenities. Sanibel has done an amazing job at making the beach accessible for everyone. We have traveled quite a bit, and finding an accessible beach, or actually even a vacation spot, is very difficult. Thank you so much for making it so easy for a family like ours to enjoy the beach. Sanibel is amazing. I agree with that. Just wanted to share. Thank you for listening. Rachel Abandi and family, Mount Airy, Maryland. And I personally want to, on behalf of the Abandis, thank TDC for making these amenities possible for families such as this who come to our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Roger Hernstadt, and I'm the town manager of the town of Fort Myers Beach. It should be no surprise to any of you in this room that Fort Myers Beach is recognized by MSN as one of the top 25 best beaches in the United States of America. Fort Myers Beach contributed 15.2% of the tourist tax in fiscal year 2017, and that's up from 14.9% in fiscal year 16, 14.6 in 15, and 14.3 in fiscal year 14. We look forward to raising that percentage as the improvements on Fort Myers Beach continue to be made. And of course, that's all due to your support. On May 21st, the Town Council will be contemplating a new hotel development that will potentially add another 250 plus rooms to the town of Fort Myers Beach. Fort Myers Beach is in constant competition with other destinations around the state, and our staff is dedicated to making sure that our destination is unique by adding diversity and enhancing the beach experience. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for dedicating millions of dollars to the town of Fort Myers Beach to allow the town to continue to protect and enhance the beaches and shoreline and promote tourism in Lee County. We look forward to working with you on future projects to promote Fort Myers Beach as one of the most popular destinations in Lee County and the state of Florida. And we know that you will continue to be our partner to allow us to achieve this very important goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Roger. Roger, I've heard recently, I know you went through a lot of trauma there with the road construction over time, but I've heard from people that what's been completed is really nice. It really turned out well. So.
Yes, it's just for everyone who may not be aware, the section that has been completed is not only is aesthetically pleasing, and but also helping us deal with a severe problem we had on the island with respect to stormwater management. Sure. So in collaboration with Lee County, we've been able to complete part of the project, and we have a couple of years ahead of us till we get the whole thing done. But the good news is that we're through the downtown area and we're proceeding southward.
Yeah, the worst is over. Yeah, good. Well done. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, sir.
Any other municipalities to be heard? If not, we'll close that. And I guess Jet's here to give us a sports report. Morning, Jet.
Morning, Council.
Morning.
So we're going to talk a little bit about our first calendar year quarter for sports. You'll see that we're really excited about how things turned out. You know, most of our marketing efforts, as you know, is aimed after Easter through the new year. We try not to do too much marketing for January, February, March events, but that also, right now, as we have filled in, time and spaces and facilities during the summer and the fall, spring does present markets of opportunity for us. So we're going to talk about January, and in the TDC packet, you'll see a full list of every event that we hosted over that 3-month period with the associated data. So this is kind of a summary of what we did. In January, 16,000 hotel room nights. As you'll see from the chart, this is significantly our largest January ever. And this is primarily because of one event, and that was USA Figure Skating's synchronized sectionals, 6,700 room nights. It was down at Germain Arena. It's the first time we'd ever had the pleasure of being able to work with USA Figure Skating on this event. Got a lot of local media attention. And so for that reason, that really caused our January numbers to be much higher than normal. Direct visitor spending of $7.7 million went along with those room nights. And again, here's the trend chart. We have had numerous discussions with USA Figure Skating. We just got back from their annual council meeting last week, and all indications are they're very interested in coming back on a 3-year rotation with us, hopefully. So we might look at having them return again in 2021. So we go to February. 6,164 hotel room nights sold, a $2 million direct visitor spending. Most of that came from, we had a myriad of events. You can see that it was slightly higher than the 2013 number, which had been our previous best February. So going back, Roy Hobbs Sunshine Classic really has been successful during that time of year. Roy Hobbs, again, is adult men who still play competitive baseball, and they separated into 3 different weekends. They've got different age groups that go clear up into, I think, 65 and over, but they also have father-son weekend, and really, 4,400 room nights in February for us is pretty good, 20% increase over the 2017 numbers. And Angel's in the room. Angel and Gary have been working hard on being a resource to Division I baseball teams. We don't actively chase after a lot of D1 baseball because they have other things around the country that they're interested in doing, but we serve as a resource for them if they want to come into Lee County, and Northeastern's already here to play the Red Sox, and Missouri's been here for a number of years. Creighton, Seton Hall, all of those teams come in, and they usually are here for at least a week to play some exhibition games. So that's been a success story as well. So we go into March, and March is spring training time. But also you can see March used to be much higher than even 12,000. When Genie Cusick Classic was in the 300 teams, March was had a significant number, and as as our destination has become what it is in March, it has priced a lot of the colleges out and been able to afford coming to our destination. And so, but you can still see 12,000 room nights, $5.2 million in direct visitor spending. The Cusick is still generating 6,000 valuable room nights for our destination during that time of year. And we continue to work with Parks and Recreation on how to add teams to that number. And then I just want to mention, Florida Youth Soccer for a while almost kind of went away, and that was a direct result to Polk County built this big mega soccer facility up in the Winter Haven area, and now that's FYSA state headquarters. So by contract, most of their events are required to go into that facility, and through some really hard work of, I don't know if it's Gary in the room, Gary Ewan and Chris Williams with Parks and Recreation, who manage those events, we've really gotten back into bringing FYSA soccer, and you'll see a lot of it in April as well at our next meeting. So you've heard me up here before say March and April tend to be as good as FYSA allows us to be. Every year FYSA, our March numbers and April numbers can go way up, and they can go way down depending on how many Florida Youth Soccer President Cups and State Cup qualifiers and things like that are awarded to Lee County. And you think about Region C where we're at, we've got some pretty significant competition out there. Not only do you have the Polk County facility, which is their headquarters, you've got the big 20-field complex up in Lakewood Ranch. You've got the facility in Collier County. You've got facilities in Sarasota. So you've got all these facilities all up and down I-75 that they have to drive past to get to us. And so I just wanted to mention that our team's done a really good job in bringing FYSA back. And Jesse, thank you to your team for, this is all at Kelly Road Soccer Complex. It's a six-field complex, and it not only is it the home of all of our tournaments, but it's also the home of a youth league, and they use it every single night. And so to keep that facility maintained at a state competition level is really a testament to our Parks and Rec team. We also had 3 USA Gymnastics branded events. One of them was a trampoline and tumbling event, but again, not actively promoting trying to bring sports events here in March, but when they come and call us and say, we have a need and you have a facility, can you help us come into your community, we're doing that. And one of those events was at the Civic Center. One of those events, and 2 of those events were at the Estero Rec Center. So we're putting our facilities to good use during that time of year. There is the trend chart for March. All I'll say to wrap up is we had a great spring training. As you all know, spring training moved forward a week and will always now be forward a week because of Major League Baseball's collective bargaining agreements. And so from now on, spring training is always going to start in the March 22nd-ish. Is that correct? I mean February 22nd-ish time, and we'll go through the 3rd week of March, and that's our new reality when it comes to our spring training season. But with all that said and done, with the fact that it even moved up, the Red Sox and Twins finished in the top 3 for total Grapefruit League attendance. So both teams were 2 of 5 in the state that finished over 100,000 total attendees. So Lee County enjoyed a phenomenal spring training benefit from having 2 great partners and 2 great fan bases that continue to support our destination regardless of what's going on with spring training calendars and things like that. So that's my report, and if you have any other questions. I do want to just real quickly recognize the entire team that's here. Rarely are they a lot of them in the room, but we've got Allison, books a lot of, does all of our sports housing. Jesse leads an amazing Parks and Rec team with Zorian is here, who gets up with a lot of our facility issues inside of his building. Certainly Angel's here, and again, I don't know if Gary's in the room or not, but this is just an amazing team of people. We were talking this morning about how every year we keep moving the bar higher when the number of events that we're hosting. It was back where it was 70 events, and then it got to be 100, and then it got to be 120, and then last year we reported 144, and this year we have 160 events on our calendar. We're not adding new people to our staff, so this group of people are just dealing with more and more volume and continuing to deliver this amazing customer service at all aspects, through our housing service, through our Parks and Rec staffers who are doing groundskeeping, who are running our facilities, and they're the real reason why our sports tourism success is the way it is. So I want to say thank you to all of them in the room. So, questions?
Jeff, you and your people do a great job, and Lee County benefits for it, so we thank you all. Any questions for Jeff?
Yeah, just one more, maybe a statement just as to, Jeff, as we progress and what we see coming on the rise in the next 12 to 24 months, there's about a 10% increase in doors, hotels coming online. It means, we got to, you build it and they'll come. We got to market and we got to get them here. The only thing I ask is that when you do your budget and we're looking at funds for next year, that we're prepared for that. A lot of those hotels are going to be inner city hotels that are going to be, they're going to need the sports to keep them full. So that we're ahead of the game, otherwise we're going to be trying to play catch up. So I'm in complete support of getting whatever you need to make it happen, but there's a lot of doors coming online.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Well, I guess, Tamara, it's your turn.
Okay. Sure, thank you. The bed tax collection for March came in at $8.76 million, up 10.6% from the previous March. And I will remind you, Easter was a little earlier this year, so we benefited some from that. But that's about $840,000 more than we collected last March. So a significant, very, very positive increase for March this year. If you look at year-to-date, we're at $27.15 million, which is up 11.7%. So it's been a real bang to the beginning of the fiscal year. That marks the halfway point March does in our fiscal year. Of course, significantly more than half of the taxes collected in those first 3 months of the calendar year, as we know. But we have started very, very well this year. Star report, I will point out that when you look at the competitive set, our occupancy was the highest at 89.2% for March, so we are grateful for that, for sure, up 3.5%. ADR at 248.43, up 8.5%, and the RevPAR at 221.49, up 12.3%. The increases you see in the bed tax and the other numbers are certainly reflected in an increase in traffic through the airport, up 10.2% through the airport in March, and for year-to-date, coming in at just under 3.4 million, up 10% for the year-to-date. So very good news at the airport as well. If it's okay, I'm just going to slide right into that budget report. So,
okay.
Lucy is normally here to present the budget report, but her son made straight A's, and they were having a little celebration at school this morning. And when she told me about it, she's like, "I really don't want to miss my presentation." I said, "No, that's more important." So, congratulations to Angel on his straight A's, and I will give you the budget report today. This is the midway point, the second quarter of the fiscal year, and you will see that we are about 45% spent, a little bit under that midpoint, but actually more ahead than we normally are at the midpoint in the year. This is very reflective of what we have done this year with our always-on budgeting. You will see that we're a lot more balanced out this year than we typically come into the second quarter in the high 30s, but 45% spent. There are a few areas where you see we're a little bit over, but fairly easily explained, and of course, I'm here to answer any questions you may have, but I feel like it's right on track.
It seems to be right on it. The only thing I always laugh at is the miscellaneous. I know accountants never like you to put much in miscellaneous, but you're always about 200 or 500% over because we have such little in there.
We do. And you never know what's going to end up in there. We ended up with some expenses that make a lot of sense, but not ones we planned for.
No.
Music licenses. So, of course, as you know, when you play music publicly, you have to have a music license. And so the county this year did a county-wide music license, and we split that expense with Parks and Rec. So you see that there. It's not a huge expense, but it's huge on that line.
It's nickels and dimes, but it just shows up when you look at the
Correct.
percentages. I'd throw 5,000 or 7,500 in.
Put a little more in that line, yeah. You're correct.
All right, we need a motion. We need a motion to approve the budget. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Fran, a second? Second by Holly. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, I guess, Nancy, you're ready to do your things on the beach and shoreline funding meeting we had. And you're probably going to tell us that we need individual motions for the legislative findings, otherwise Andrea beats on me here, right?
Andrea requests. Yes. So I just want to start by saying thank you to the TDC for your review of funding for fiscal year 19. There were 21 requests and 20 have had recommendations made for funding. Thank you to those of you that attended the Beach and Shoreline Workshop on April 25th. Today we are asking for two things to take place, you'll need to make legislative findings on 9 of the 20 requests, and then you'll approve funding for 20 projects totaling $9,009,913. So if I may, I'm going to read through the legislative findings, and I believe you need to move each one separately. I'll dig deep for my Jersey roots, so I'll talk very quickly. There is one slight edit. You were sent the packet on Tuesday, and I did have an edit from the county attorney on Project H and Project JJ. It doesn't change what we're asking you to do in making the legislative finding. It was just better language. So the document you're looking at is the most up to date. Okay, so the first request is request number 2 from the city of Sanibel, and it's the Beach and Shoreline Erosion Survey. The TDC must make a legislative finding that this project relates to and primarily promotes tourism.
So moved by Pam, second by Fran. All in favor?
Aye.
Next.
Project B from the city of Sanibel, Facility Beach Maintenance, make a legislative finding that the type of signs being upgraded relate to and primarily promote tourism.
So moved.
So moved by, oh, that was quick, okay. Colleen and Pam. All in favor?
Aye.
Request D from the town of Fort Myers Beach, Beach and Shoreline Maintenance, make a legislative finding that the following portions of this project are related to and primarily promote tourism. Replacement of beach access and interpretive signs, replacement of and a purchase of a utility vehicle to service the beach accesses, and the purchase of a new water cart utility vehicle to water native plants at beach accesses.
So moved.
Moved by Holly. Second by Fran, was it? Mm-hmm. Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Lee County Facilities and Construction Management, the Matanzas Pass Boardwalk Replacement, make a determination that this project satisfies the statutory requirement constituting a remodeling or improvement of a nature center. The Attorney General defines nature centers as a part of the natural landscape and a focal point for activity.
Motion?
So moved.
Thank you.
Second.
Second by Fran. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, good, thank you.
Project JJ, the City of Cape Coral, kayak canoe launch in Northwest Cape Coral, make a legislative finding that this project primarily promotes tourism.
So moved.
Go second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Project N, Gasparilla Island State Park, Lighthouse Pavilion to Beach Shade Structure, make a legislative finding that this project is related to tourism and primarily promotes that purpose.
Motion?
So moved.
By Holly.
Second.
Second by Fran, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, all right.
Project P, Crescent State Park boat ramp and kayak launch, make a legislative finding that this project relates to and primarily promotes tourism.
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Tony, second by Holly, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Project Q, Lee County Parks and Recreation, Manatee Park paddlecraft launch, dredging, and construction, make a legislative finding that this expenditure is primarily related to tourism in the county.
So moved.
Moved by Colleen, second by Pam, all in favor?
Aye.
Project R, Friends of Lovers Key Welcome and Discovery Center exhibit, make a legislative finding that proposed interpretive signs are related to and primarily promote tourism.
So moved.
Moved by Holly,
Second.
second by Colleen, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now we'll need approval of funding for 20 projects, project requests totaling $9,009,913.
And we can do this with one motion.
So moved.
So moved by Holly,
Second.
second by Fran, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your efforts on that. You know, while on that subject, this might be a good time to beat this around, and correct me if I say something wrong here. Andrea was saying that the new state law states that any county that's over 750,000 in population has very limited use of beach and shoreline fundings for various projects. Am I right? It's
For nature centers, zoological parks,
Right.
fishing piers.
yeah, which is a lot of what we do. and we take in about $40 million a year in bed tax, and we take 26%, let's say 25% for eaves. So, I mean, that's about $10 million that goes into beach and shoreline. If we have an awful lot of these things that are not going to be eligible, that's something I think the council might want to look at, and the VCB probably wants to look at. You might even have a little group, to 2 or 3 people, to take a look at how that's going to impact. Because we're not far. Just for kicks, I looked up what the citysomething.com, it gives you a population. It said Lee County in 2018 had a population of 739,224. That's not far from 750,000. It says we have a growth rate of 2.31%. That means 17,000 people more every year. So next year, we could hit 750,000, if not 2020 for sure. So it's something I think we ought to start looking at on how we fund beach and shoreline projects with the limitations we're going to have. Did I say something wrong yet? No. Oh, okay. But that's just something, food for thought, and you might want to take a look at it. And
could I add a comment on that? My question would be that number at 750,000, where is that from? And legislatively, is there an opportunity that because of the growth within the state, if that's an opportunity to look at, that number can be taken into consideration for change?
You might want to answer that 750,000.
I'm not sure how they came up with 750,000.
Yeah, and that would be my question that we can look into. It is state statute, but maybe Florida is growing in leaps and bounds, and however that number came into being, maybe that is not a viable number anymore for all of the municipalities that are going to be growing past that, and so much of our projects, many of them fall under that number.
I'll leave that to Glenn. He does the legislative stuff.
I apologize. Tam and I were just talking about it sidebar. Was there a question? Or?
Yeah, I was just saying that number of 750,000, where did that come from? And legislatively, is there an opportunity to be looking at increasing that number, because so many municipalities are going to be falling under that, and money that should be going to so many of these projects are not going to have that opportunity.
Right. Don't know where they came up with 750,000. I think they do use Bieber numbers, which are a little bit lower than the ones Renee just quoted, so it gives us a little bit more time, perhaps, not much. What I would recommend is that as staff, we go back, do a little bit more analysis. We've started, but we've got more to do, a little bit more analysis, probably come back to you, asking you to formulate a legislative recommendation to the Board of County Commissioners that they can include in the legislative platform. I will tell you, there's always a lot of angst around the state when you try to open this statute up. The statute is very sensitive, and people are afraid that if you start amending it, lots of other things are going to be thrown into the mix. So we'll have to think about that, and maybe even look at the possibility of a local bill to just adjust for us. So there are some possibilities, and we just need to do some more research.
Isn't it a relatively new statute? When did that?
No, I think that's been...
It's been around for quite some time. I think they have adjusted the number from 600,000 maybe at one time to 700,000.
But is it all bad, though? I mean, the projects are still going to get potentially funded. They just get funded out of a different pocket, right?
They wouldn't be funded out of beach and shoreline funds.
Well, they can't be funded out of TDC funds.
Out of TDC funds, so it has to be. So this is something the municipalities have to look at. If they have like a 4-year project, and in year 1 and 2 we're eligible to fund it, but come year 3 and 4, when we're not, they're going to, if they want to finish that project, they're going to be taking us out of their other operational funds.
I just don't see it as all negative, though.
No.
I mean, it's just the dollars are going to go more towards the beaches and towards promoting marketing.
Oh, yeah. There's no question about it. And it's up to the council on how they want to move any monies you don't spend in beach and shoreline, that 26.4%, is it? You might end up reassessing and recommending to the county where you want to break out that TDC funding. And
the pier is probably are the biggest issue, that
Right.
Fort Myers Beach Pier, because, right? Because the funding, like something to think about, considering.
Well, yeah, and it could impact a number of issues depending on how the connection is to that
There are several
property.
multi-year projects.
Right, that may not.
Anyway, just food for thought
Thank you, Glenn.
while we're on the subject. Now, where are we?
In a good place.
Oh, boy, I guess that's it. It's council information, isn't it?
Marketing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Wait, you had something?
No, we have the,
Yeah, right, okay. This is another action item. The Attraction Marketing Review Committee, Nancy, who do we have on there? No, and we have one vacancy.
So yes, again, the memo changed. We have a total of 5 willing participants to serve as our attractions committee, and they will be very busy beginning the end of June. So we're asking for you to approve the nominations of Pam Cronin as chair, Colleen DePasquale, Cynthia Welsh, John Malecki, and Councilwoman Holly Smith.
Oh, Holly Smith filled the vacancy. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
I'll move it.
Tony moves it.
Second.
Second by Fran. All in favor?
All right.
Motion passes. All right.
Congratulations, Pam.
Well, I just didn't say it fast enough. I was going to give that same speech I did.
Gotta move fast.
Pam, you've been doing that so long. How would we do it without you?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, and doing a great job, yeah. You got Councilman?
I do have one thing that I want to point out to you in your, for council's information section. There are several things I find interesting, I sometimes share with you. But we are working on a special event for National Seashell Day, and there is a one-page flyer in your for council's information section that talks about this. We are going to try to break a Guinness World Record on Fort Myers Beach. We are going to work on the beach behind the outrigger and make the largest human shell. So we are going to need 1,000-ish volunteers to register and come out on June 21st. We're going to start pretty early in the morning as we know the day will get warm, and join us on the beach to attempt to break this Guinness World Record. So stay tuned for more information, but I can tell you the marketing team led by Brian with a lot of help from Nancy and Ella and Courtney, they are working very, very hard to get all the pieces to the puzzle in place, but you'll register online. Tell us your t-shirt size because you will be wearing a colored shirt that will help make the shell. We want adults, children, whomever we can get out to the beach. We'll have a drone that hovers over, captures that picture. Someone from the Guinness World Records will be there verifying that we had the appropriate number of people to break the record, and we're hoping this will get us some great press on the first day of summer and position us well for a great summer campaign. So just wanted to share that with you, and to Roger, we are working closely with the staff at Fort Myers Beach and are trying to make sure we have all the requirements there in place as well. So
that'll be
book your morning for a beach visit.
June 21st, right?
June 21st.
And the record is held by the Shell Oil Company, their Turkish operation. And 855 people they got, so we have to get at least 856.
We're shooting for 1,000.
What time was that again?
We're going to do it first thing in the morning, and we're working with Lee Tran to trolley people in so that they can park at the Park and Ride or at Lovers Key State Park. We're going to start the trolleys at 6:30 in the morning. We hope to be done around 10-ish, figuring it'll take a while to get everybody in and in place. There's a whole bunch more to this. I just wanted to whet your appetite with it so you knew it was coming.
All right. TDC member items. Let's start with Pam. Do you have anything for us, Pam?
I don't, thank you.
I have nothing.
Nothing? Fran?
Just your hot list from the airport, and I'll let you just take that and read. Very busy out there.
New flights?
New flights. Yeah, that, especially the Eurowings, it's fabulous. I don't know if I gave you enough.
I think that's all. I think.
Colleen?
Two things. One is we had a very successful Chrysalis event 2 weeks ago. I'd like to thank everybody who helped make that so, and for those who attended. So we are already looking at next year, 2019. It will be the 10th anniversary of our Chrysalis Awards event. So we are looking for new committee members. If you want to get involved and help with that planning, we would like to have you. We'll be reaching out to some of our former recipients, see if they want to help us get involved, or somebody from their company. So we're really looking forward to that, but we are already starting that process. So if you're interested, let me know. And it wouldn't be me if I didn't bring this up, but the
Something about hockey?
you know it. Okay, my pens are out, but the Florida Everblades have reached the conference finals, which they have not done since the year they won the Kelly Cup. So they are playing this weekend. I mean, if they win this series, they go for the Cup. So the Adirondack Thunder, I think it is, are coming down from Glen Falls, New York, but they play Friday and Saturday at home, and there's probably nothing more fun than the guys would love to play in front of a strong fan base if you've got nothing going on this weekend, and of course that's never true, but we could really use some hometown support for these guys before they drive, because getting to New York, I have discovered, it would be a nightmare for a lot of us to get up there and support them away, but this weekend, and then it's the best of 7 series, so depending on how they play, they wouldn't come back again until like the 21st or so. But if you've got nothing going on, we could really use some support, because they have an incredible team put together with some strong coaching. This could be a year where they come back with the Cup. So nice.
Great.
Both nights are here? They're here Friday and Saturday, and then they fly to New York, play 3 away, because they won the league. They were number 1 in the league for ECHL, so they have home all the way. So home advantage. So then they play 3 away, and then the last 2 games if needed. And I imagine this would go, they went triple overtime, I think, to get there anyway. But they would come back here and play to finish out the series. Thank you for that offer. It's all local.
No fine. Yeah. Bill?
Go Everblades.
Thank you.
Holly?
I attended the Chrysalis Awards, and it was fantastic, and just looking forward to next year. Great job, everyone. Congratulations.
Holly, I'm sure I can speak for my colleagues that we thank you for, as you've joined, you've volunteered for a couple of committees already, and that's great that you're participating. We love it.
My pleasure. The more I learn, the better I can do my job.
Tony?
Make the Everblades and play outside in the heat. Probably nothing. Get them outside, but no, nothing bad.
All right. With that, I guess we're adjourned. Oh, I'm sorry.
If I may, Mr. Chair, real quick, I would like to telegraph to the TDC that we're likely to come back to you next month with the Fort Myers Beach tram. So at the end of this month, that pilot program will close out. It's been wildly successful, so much so that we extended it. So we'll have all of the numbers. The Lee-Tran team will present that to you, and they will be asking for some funding for the next season. So just want to make you aware that that's likely to happen next month.
Glenn, did they extend that route down I saw it go by my place the other day, which it usually doesn't. I was wondering if they extended it further down?
I don't think the route changed, but...
Where would that come from if they come to us for revenue? Reserves? Beach and shoreline?
Some of it would be eligible for beach and shoreline funding. For the beach proximity stops.
Okay.
And you've got leftover funding there, so.
It's been a great program. The guests are just raving about it. Oh, huge.
Super. Okay. Be great if it would even go down further.
Thank you for the opportunity. It's my understanding that they have their standard route, and as it is a pilot project, they're trying little tweaks to see what the impact that would be. So I wouldn't say they changed the route, but they may have deviated from the standard route from time to time just to see what the potential positive or negative impacts would be to modifying the route. So I'll leave it at that. But I think they're pretty much staying with their standard route for the most part.
Okay, great.
Well, we can get Andrea's input when the time comes there. Anything else? We're adjourned.
Thank you. Good job, Renee. Look at that.
That's all.
Yeah, my pleasure. That was pretty easy. That was pretty
John's a fast move.
I love getting done. Yeah, no, anytime.
So I saw Sue right after I saw her. Yeah, she was up there. And I ran over to her and I gave her a big hug and I said, "That's from Fran." She told me to give you that. Yeah, no, I got it. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, Ben someday. Yeah,
Pledge allegiance